I actually just said, well, no, but that's not the case. My future is written till 2024.
Here today, Real Madrid have a there, which will quickly pass into infamy for
to breathe down Danny Carvajal's back. It's absolutely vital for
for any Real Madrid fan, it's always hugely.
The players out on the field, and it is a close
to take a draw if they can. It is occasionally the Maria, but Ruby and his side have options. Barcelona do, and when it rains, as Bruno pointed out, the ball moves slightly slower, but they're good enough to get rid of that.
It's a good cross there by Dani Ceballos. It nearly reached. Here's Vinny with a great piece of play, and the cross towards Benzema that forced a save from Fernando. Not sure how much of that Benzema got, or if it was one of the two kings. Now here's Vinny Jr. again, finding Benzema. It was the combination that nearly provided the open-up a couple of minutes ago, and this time it does. Vinny is just unstoppable when he gets a chance to run at a fullback. You might as well just take the fullback out of the way, because he'll beat him. And then the cross was perfect as well, and it will be one of the easiest finishes.
His life is made ugly by racists on and off the pitch.
Now here's Lagi Ramazani at the other end, getting a shot away, which Thibaut Courtois was very confident was heading over the bar. Benzema, Vinicius moving ahead of him, and the 1-2, and very nearly the finish as well. It was beautifully crossing. It comes down to Rodrigo.
Animal, who's well liked within the squad and can play.
And he eventually goes down off the wall. Back to Ceballos, who's fouled again, this time by Ramazani. Does that mean we can get picked up by Vinny, who will have a run at Puigmal, fires it in, and
that's a booking. That has to.
This is Eduardo Camavinga making the challenge here, who's having to fill in at left back.
Whether they were 0-0 or 1-0 down. So yeah, I do agree. That's right.
Tries to flick the ball away from Samu Costa, gets it back to Benzema, and it's 2 goals for Karim Benzema. But it is 2 wonderful assists from the Brazilian wingers. Firstly Vinicius, and now Rodrigo with something really special. He had so much to do when he raced into the area, but the back heel to keep the ball on the byline. And then the change of direction. Vazquez has got 4 in the middle. The cross is deep beyond everybody. A flick from Mendes as far as Vinicius, who might be offside here against Rodrigo, and it is. So that
side they must beat, irrespective of how Elche played today.
An offside flag goes up, Rio, aren't they? And here's Ubalang Mendes trying to get.
And you play 2 and rest 3.
Now here's Ramazani, almost pulling one back. Thibaut Courtois looked like he had the post covered there, but it was a decent cross in. Thought about the shot, but instead rolls it wide for Vazquez. And Almeria, it travelled a long way without a touch.
Yeah, and the Frenchman is on for
pass for Vazquez. Cut back, and Rodrigo leaving it. Back to Lucas Vazquez. The cross was looking for Rudiger, who can head across goal. But Benzema in an offside position, so
really high average. But in terms of how sharp he is, how absolutely
trying to get away from Chumi, who gets at the Almeria defence, this time into the area. And this time the deflection. It bang up for Vinicius, looking for Rodrigo. At the other for Vazquez. Crosses beyond.
Has stepped forward and been consistently good enough. We can.
Now here's a chance for Portillo. Takes on the shot, and not far wide. Again, Courtois. Here's Portillo looking for Lazaro.
From either of the Ancelottis on the bench to what Vinicius has been doing.
But there hasn't been too much of a reaction so far from Ancelotti.
To Lucas, plenty in the middle.
Oh,
and he might get a penalty here, honestly, and he does.
Andy, that's atrocious from Ramazani. From the point at which Lucas was out in the touchline, he was shrugged off, he walked, he didn't.
Almeria, with any kind of chance in this game, cannot do so. Benzema sends him the wrong way, rolls it into the corner. It is a first half hat-trick for Karim Benzema. And it is surely now game, set and match for Real Madrid. 3-0 they lead. Final before the Champions League semi-final.
You know, I used harsh words.
And there might be more because Rodrigo's trying to flip him in. Ancelotti can start thinking about substitutions earlier than normal. He's not normally one. Now Ramazani, can he cut it back for Portillo? Oh, first time ball across the face of goal. Lovely cross and an easy finish, and they get one back, and it's Lázaro Vinicius who taps it home from close range, and Ramazani making amends for half-time, and they will head into the second half.
Strike on goal.
There's a long ball over the top for Rodrigo from Eder Militao. Here's Ceballos finding Rodrigo, turning to shoot. Oh, what a strike as well. Starting the second half with a scorcher. Rodrigo turning on a sixpence on the edge of the box and then unleashing an absolute rocket, which was past Fernando before he could even enter into his dive. And the goals just keep on coming. It is now 4-1, 2 minutes into the second half. Player. Here's Samu Costa winning it back on the edge of the area, and then being fouled by who has little chance to clear his head, as Mendy with Tchouaméni couldn't control cleanly. But here, flick, Ramazani into the area, narrow angle, tries for goal, and Benzema making his move. The cross doesn't initially reach him. Ceballos to the byline, and the deflection, and skip past Puigmal. The cross is two. Here's Lucas Vázquez picking up the loose ball, can send in the cross beyond. There's Camavinga getting to the byline, looking to cut it back, prodded away by Samu Costa. Into the penalty area, to the byline, across goal, and and there was a break on, but a slightly under-hit pass given away by Kroos, and Portillo can send in the cross, and it's a second goal, and it is Robertoni who got on the end of the delivery and sends the header past Courtois, who could only get his hand on the ball. More celebrations for those Almeria fans. They might not get 3